So Poco detonated another nuclear bomb. After their worldwide success of the Poco X3, here comes another one, the Poco M3. And they said that it's going to disrupt the pricing in the smartphone category. So are you excited? Well, I am. Come on, let's check it out what this phone looks like and how it performs, especially the unboxing. Come on. So guys, Poco said that this phone is more than what you expect, and true enough, the processor comes with a Snapdragon 662, which is an 11 nanometer processor, probably better than that of the Snapdragon 665, which is very popular in the market, and still there are still some company using that processor until today. And well, gauging it with some benchmarks states that Snapdragon 662 is more efficient than 665. Well, probably in the processing speed, it will probably win over against the 665, but nevertheless, I can say that the phone, based on my user experience, swiping left and right, I can say that it's quite smooth, but there are times that I can feel some lags on this phone. I'm not quite sure, maybe the UI is not yet that optimized, it's just really newly released, or probably they just under-optimize it because of the price. It's quite cheap, and surprisingly, it's really cheap. After using the Poco M3 for a while, I've been feeling that it's a little bit laggy. Probably some of you would complain about this pretty soon once you had your Poco M3 on your hands. So on this tutorial, I'll show you how to make it less laggy and more responsive and more snappy on your MIUI 12 experience for Poco. So right now, all you need to do is go to Settings, then go to About Phone. Then, of course, click this one, MIUI version for Poco. Click it for 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're a developer since it says it. Then go back. Go to Additional Settings. Scroll all the way down. You can see there's a developer's option here. Now, I want you to look for the animation here. So scroll down a bit, keep scrolling. So it's somewhere near. Okay, so let me see. Okay, probably I've scrolled too much. So here. So you can see the animation scale here is for 1x. Okay, so Windows animation scale. So we need to put it down to 0.5. On the transition scale, it's also 0.5.
animator duration scale, put it to also 0.5. Then right now you'll feel it will be a little less laggy and more snappy on your next usage, or probably if you still don't feel enough, you can even turn the animation off if you want. Okay, so that's basically my tutorial on how to make this MIUI 12 for Poco M3 a little bit less laggy for your usage.
Now this phone comes in two variants, either go for 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, which has a read and write speed of UFS 2.1 and priced at 6,990 pesos in the Philippines, of course. Then it also has another variant, which is the 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, comes with a read and write speed of UFS 2.2. This one is priced at 7,990 pesos in the Philippines, and the price is really jaw-dropping, and they said that this phone will disrupt the price in the smartphone category, and I truly believe that this phone probably is letting the Poco end the year with a bang. These, well, has disrupted the market with the X3. Right now, they further destroyed the pricing in the market with the M3. Taking a quick look at some benchmark, here's what I got from Antutu. Well, pretty a decent score, to be honest with you, and this is what I got from Geekbench. Well, pretty below some mid-range benchmark scores for the Geekbench, but nevertheless, I don't really expect too much since the price is crazily low. So this phone comes with a 6.53 IPS LCD. Take note guys, it's a 1080p resolution, not a 720p. Normally, phones of this category, of this price range, comes in a 720p. Of course, for other brands, but of course, not Poco. They give you more value for your money at lesser cost. But like what they said, more than what you expect. And really, this also comes with a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection, and well, take note, there's a TUV Rainland anti-UV Blu-ray protection, which means it gives you more protection to the eyes when using for a long time. Now, using this phone for roughly a week already, I can say that this phone really can perform under bright sunlight. Well, not really the brightest among all the phones I've tested, but under bright sunlight, putting it to max brightness, I can still read, but not so clear. Now, since we're already talking about the screen, let's take a quick look at gaming.
So gaming, I can say that for Mobile Legends, it's really smooth. I can hardly feel a frame drop. Well, probably minimal to be exact. And then when I'm playing Hungry Shark, it's really fluid. Now, checking Call of Duty, I can turn on high graphics settings, but there are times that I can feel that it's a little bit sluggish. But overall, I can say there's really not a problem playing Call of Duty, and yeah, I can finish probably a couple of games before the back of the phone gets a little bit warm.
So let's talk about the camera on this phone. This phone has a 48MP main sensor coupled with an aperture 1.79 and a 6P lens. So I think it should be a little bit good given that specs. Then it comes also with a macro lens of 2MP and a depth sensor of 2MP. Then of course, that's it. Triple camera back. Let's take a quick look at some pictures that I've taken using this phone. So right now we can see the camera shots. The outdoors are looking good. Well, not the best that I've seen, but pretty decent. It's snappy, it's sharp, but when you're taking a good look at night shots, now this is the difference. For night shots, I can say that it's a little bit grainy, and especially on low lights, especially when you're putting it on an even lower lights, there comes more grains. So I can say this phone doesn't really perform that well on night shots. So you better put on some lightings or whatever you need just to make it a little bit better. Now let's take a quick look at some selfie shots. Now selfie shots from outdoors, I can say it's nice. It's pretty decent, of course, but the 8MP camera at the front, I can say it's, well, not super duper optimized, especially on night shots. It's quite grainy as well. like the rear camera. Hopefully they can correct it a little bit using some future software updates to make it a little bit more decent. Now let us try some videos on the rear camera.
So this is how it looks like when you're out here in the dark trying to take some video. Right now it's roughly 5:30 in the afternoon here in the Philippines, so yeah, it's kind of dark and the sun is already set. So this is the video taken outdoors on bright sunlight under 1080p 30 fps on the Poco M3.
Now I can say the video at the rear camera is not that great. Also not at worst, but the video is good, pretty decent, but I can say that it's really jittery, missing those image stabilization, but of course you don't expect it that much from a price point like this one. But you can always use a gimbal to make some remedy for those videos on this phone. Now, taking a quick look at the front video camera.
This is how it looks like when you're using the front camera of the Poco M3. Okay, so this is how the front selfie video camera of the Poco M3 looks like when you're a little bit in the dark. It's kind of grainy. And it gets grainier when it's even darker. So guys, this is a sample of the video taken on the front 8MP camera of the Poco M3 under bright sunlight.
Well, the video up front is not that bad. Not really that super duper good, but it's already decent. To be honest with you, there are still better cameras out there, but of course at higher price point. So what's nice about this phone is it comes with a dual speaker. Normally, phones at this price point has only a single firing speaker at the bottom or at the rear, but this one, Poco make it more special, more than what you expect really. And having a dual stereo speaker definitely will give you better and richer experience when watching videos, playing games. And yeah, I did enjoy it. And it's really nice that the 3.5mm audio jack is still here. Me personally, I still prefer the wired headset compared to that of the wireless or the Bluetooth ones. It feels richer. The sounds are richer on wired headphones. Now let's try the side fingerprint scanner on how fast it is. Well, for me, it's not that fast, but it still gets the job done. And I can say that the Poco X3 side fingerprint scanner is a little bit faster than this one. This phone comes with a whopping 6,000 mAh of battery. What's nice, to put some icing on the cake, it also supports up to 18 watts of fast charging, which is normally phones of this price point only supports up to 10 watts of fast charging. Well, this is how fast it charges. And I set it to 50% brightness and, well, did some battery stress tests on this one. And this is what I got from PC Mark Test. Not bad. I've been using this phone for the past week and I can say that the battery is really something to consider if you're really an outgoing person. And 6,000 mAh of battery is not a joke. It can last me more than a 3 days journey before I hit the charging dock again. So some social media, some YouTube, some text messaging, some calls, and even some mild games. Well, it brings me more than 3 days or, well, roughly 3 days before it needed to be charged again. So now we come to our conclusion. Is it good? Is it bad? Or what do I think? Well, I think this phone is pretty good if you're out there in the market having a tight budget and not really into heavy gamings. This is a really highly recommended phone just for you. But if you're looking for something of the more game-centric phone, I really highly suggest you pick the Poco X3 instead. On the daily usage, I can say it's really a performer, but there's sometimes that it's a little bit laggy, but well, it's correctable using some software updates, of course, and camera shots are decent, I can say, but except that on night mode, it's a little bit grainy. And videos, you just really need to use some gimbals. Of course, I don't really expect too much from this price point. It's really, really cheap. And this one can only be bought online from Shopee and Lazada in the Philippines. So yeah, do check them out. Official store of Xiaomi in the Philippines. And of course, check your own country where you can buy it. It's really, really jaw dropping. The price is jaw dropping, and I, well, sort of recommend it for people who are not really that meticulous about their phones. But overall, it's for me still a performer. So, what do you think of this phone? Are you happy with it? Do hit me up on the comment section below, and let's have a quite small discussion on this one, and let's see if it's good or it's not good for you. So if you like this video, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you don't miss any future review here in my channel. And of course, I'll be making a giveaway before the year ends, and I hope you do stay tuned for that. And I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.